He's a talented musician who's into meditation and performed with Paul McCartney and Ringo Starr. No, not George Harrison, his son, who's the spitting image of the former Beatle. Arguably the most famous band in the world, the Beatles have hardly faded from pop culture conversations, despite all their original music recordings being 50 years old. The Beatles held records that have only recently been beaten, such as most top 10 Hot 100 debuts for a group. Fans are able to continuously discover new things about the band as well, most recently thanks to Peter Jackson's lengthy 3-part documentary, Get Back, a compilation of previously unseen footage from 1969. One could argue that as soloists, none of the band members achieved the same level of fame as Beatlemania in the 1960s. Though they each still had hit records in the decades following the band's tumultuous breakup, they also began to balance their music careers with quieter, more domestic lifestyles as they got older and started families. John Lennon famously married Yoko Ono at the end of the 1960s and settled in New York City with their son. Paul McCartney had 4 children with first wife Linda McCartney. His youngest child, Beatrice, is with his second wife, Heather Mills. Ringo Starr and first wife Maureen Starkey had 2 sons who are both drummers, Zach and Jason, and daughter Lee, who works in fashion. Most of these Beatle children bear a resemblance to their famous dads, even young Beatrice. However, George Harrison's son and only child, Danny Harrison, is a spitting image of his father. So much so that he was used as a character model for the Beatles rock band video game. After George Harrison's marriage to Pattie Boyd, who left him for Eric Clapton, he married Olivia Harrison. She gave birth to Danny in 1978. He is named after 2 notes on the Indian music scale, Da and Ni. The Beatles spent time in India in 1968, and Harrison in particular took interest in the meditation practices that the group learned on their trip. It is no surprise that Indian culture influenced him later in life as well.
For me, I was just so intrigued just to try and grasp a little bit of it.
Danny Harrison is a musician himself, and he's been open about music in relation to his late father, who passed away in 2001. However, Danny Harrison does not aim to become a megastar like his father. When speaking to The Guardian, he explained that he does not want to make music for the sake of gaining fame, saying, "I don't really plan to be a pop star. I just want to be able to make music without the whole my dad thing hanging over me, which everyone in my position goes through." Danny also knows that comparisons to his father are inevitable. He added, "It's a tricky one. You can't help being a musician because you've grown up with music, yet being one means being compared to your dad and being slated for it. But I really don't have the ambitions of most people going into the industry." And if you're wondering if he actually likes the Beatles, he definitely does. He cited Revolver as being, quote, "the best album ever made." Danny Harrison performed alongside Eric Clapton, Tom Petty, Jeff Lynne, and former Beatles Paul McCartney and Ringo Starr for a tribute to George Harrison titled Concert for George in 2002. The film performance was in theaters and is now on CD and DVD to continue the legacy of the late Beatle. Danny also helped finish the album Brainwashed that was in the works when George died.
It was almost as if my dad had the whole thing mapped out and we were just these lab rats trying to find our way through the maze.
More recently, Danny Harrison helped create a special edition of George Harrison's album All Things Must Pass, which celebrated its 50th anniversary in 2021. Despite his enthusiasm for his father's music, Danny Harrison did not initially want to become a musician. He told Billboard that he went to Brown University and even competed in rowing. But in the end, he chose a path of music, saying, "It's in the DNA, I guess."